Hey everyone, this is Steph. Welcome to your very first reflection day for our 30 Days of Balance. These are going to be 1 day a week, and we're basically just going to sit down. We're going to talk about where we're at as far as balance in our life. We're going to set some goals, and we're going to get really honest with ourselves, because I think the easiest thing to do is just kind of go through our day, go through the motions, and not really think about what do we want in our life? What do we really want? How to create balance if we don't have that now? We have to sit and we have to think about where we're at exactly in this point in time and where we can go from here. So I hope you downloaded the corresponding PDF for this video today, and that should help guide you through the questions that I'm going to ask you. Throughout the video, feel free to put me on pause. I actually really want you to put me on pause so you can actually sit and not rush and think about your answers, and that's going to make a huge difference in where we go from here. So the first question, number one, is what does the word balance mean to you? Because what balance means to me is going to mean something totally different to you or anybody else, depending on my own life and my own interests and my own priorities and responsibilities. So first question, number one, is write down what does the word balance mean to you. To go into a little bit of detail, write down some ideas of what balance would feel like. So if you lived a balanced life, you came home every day, what would that feel like? How would it look? What would your day be scheduled like? And how would you feel at the end of the day? Would you feel less stressed and less chaotic and more content and calm and relaxed? So write down how it would feel, how it would look to have a balanced life. And then going off of this, you can pause me at any moment if you need to, but I want you to think of the perfect day. So if you had the perfect day, totally balanced, what would you do? What would your schedule consist of from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed? So write out some things that you want to include in your perfect day. Next, number three, let's talk about some barriers. So what is stopping you from having a balanced life? What are some of the barriers or conflicts that come up when you try to include certain things that are for you in your daily life? What are the things that come up that conflict and you ultimately end up giving in to your priorities, to yourself, and doing something else? So make a list, take some time, brainstorm. This is a brain dump. Make a list of all the barriers that you have. The last thing I want you to think about and write about today is some possible solutions to those barriers, because there's always going to be some sort of solution. So it could be a crazy solution, maybe it's not realistic, but I just want you to be creative and think of some things that are possibilities, possible solutions. How could you combat some of these barriers and overcome them to create that sense of balance? The last thing that I want you to think about, and you're not going to write about it, but I want you to take this next week before we check in again and think about what some of your goals actually are. Maybe you already know what your goals are. Maybe you wrote them down. Maybe you have them in your head. Maybe you haven't even thought about it at all. Sometimes it's hard to even think about goals when we are so busy and chaotic. So think about, though, some of your goals, some of those barriers to those goals. And then also think about your priorities in your life. Where are your priorities at right now? Because sometimes that might be part of the reason we're out of balance, is we're not sure of our priorities, or maybe we are, but we have to figure out how we can also fit in time for ourselves. So make sure you fill out the worksheet with this. Take some time, like I said, replay this or pause me whenever you need to, and then we'll check back in again for our second week of reflection, and we'll talk about some priorities and some goal setting. Make it a great week.